Supporting your students in the classroom. Number 1, learn from others. This type of learning is called social learning, and it has to do with the people around you. That is, you learn from and about others by watching and interacting with them. For example, seeing someone else's mistakes may teach you to avoid falling in the same trap. When we're open to learning from others, we benefit from their experience as well as our own, and we can inherit their wisdom and knowledge. Number 2, stay organized. Good organization helps you gain control of your time so you can plan and complete the tasks needed to achieve your goals. Organize files by priority and keep the most important ones within arm's reach. Focus on what's important, make lists, manage your time well, use calendars and planners, reduce clutter, and clear your workspace. Keep only the most critical items and information you need daily on the top of your desk. Number 3, don't reinvent the wheel. There's no need to put energy into reinventing something that already exists and works well. That problem has been solved in the past. Let us focus our attention on more necessary topics. Number 4, know that each student is unique. This means that individuals are not equally smart in all settings. Instead, they have different bits of intelligence activated according to the cultural values, opportunities, experiences, and decisions made by the individual. The extent to which students possess different kinds of minds and therefore learn, remember, perform, and understand in different ways. Number 5, keep instructions simple. Keep the instructions as simple as possible and make sure your instruction is very clear. Don't jump from one topic to another without following a clear structure or mentioning the links between the topics or lesson material. Explain everything chronologically and only start building on the step when the previous one is understood by your students. Ask lots of questions to measure understanding. Just keep the learning goals close to you. Know where you are going. Split the larger learning goals into small learning goals. Teach those small learning goals in a structured way. Number 6, embrace advocacy. Classrooms should be places where students feel comfortable enough to practice their emerging advocacy skills, which means cultivating a classroom culture that welcomes perspective taking and diverse viewpoints. Number 7, create opportunities for success. People and organizations grow and develop to the extent that they capitalize on opportunities to do so. Opportunities are the venues where people can try, test, better, and even find themselves. Through explaining the reality of what life would be like without school, understanding the reality that children across the globe can't attend school, and hearing the consequences this lack of education causes, can encourage the students to be thankful and hardworking. Number 8, don't feel pressure to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, but there can be times when you might feel the pressure to be, particularly if you have ambitious goals for your career. Not all perfectionism is bad, and it's healthy to set strong personal standards for yourself. But if they're too high, it can lead to discouragement, lower self confidence, and unhappiness. For example, if you're targeting a high score in the examination and you don't reach that goal, your disappointment might affect your motivation to keep striving toward the next advancement opportunity in your plan. Teaching tips and strategies. First, teachers should set the tone from day one. Help establish authority and create a structured learning environment. A teacher must know how to strike the right balance to be seen as authoritative but not unapproachable or intimidating. You need to show you are in charge while still being able to give genuine praise and encouragement. There are few important things to keep in mind to strike the right balance. Second, support your students in their learning. Maintain and encourage a positive outlook focused on the good. Provide opportunities for small successes and then celebrate them. Give an assignment, task in small manageable chunks. Acknowledge the students' feelings and their lived experiences. Incorporate students' interest experiences into lessons. Third, structure lesson plans to support inclusivity. Understanding differences in terms of behaviors and needs amongst your students is key to ensuring the success of those with and without special needs. Modifications can be made to any lesson plan or learning center, creating different ways to do typical activities and allowing all students to participate. For instance, circle time activities that incorporate music and movement usually hold children's attention for longer periods than a sit and listen type of activity. For the child with weak hand muscles and the poor grasp, short, stubby writing implements are frequently easier to grasp than commercially available crayons, markers, and brushes. Fourth, assume your student can do something until proven wrong. One of the most effective ways to help students take responsibility for their learning is through goal setting. When students set goals and achieve those goals, they build self confidence and become more willing to try again. Allowing students to find and correct their mistakes on their own immediately after they are made has a positive impact on their motivation to learn. At the same time, learning to look for root causes and sources of mistakes develops conceptual understanding. Fifth, communicate clearly with students and parents. When conversations are flowing, students can see that teachers and parents have their best interest at heart. Effective communication helps establish a relationship of respect between teachers, parents, and students. Sixth, partner with students with disabilities with students who do not have disabilities. To facilitate social interaction between students with and without disabilities, Inclusion Matters orchestrates field trips between general and special education classes to inclusive playgrounds, which are designed so that children with and without disabilities can play together throughout the whole site. Seventh, make yourself available. A good teacher can change a person's life. Every teacher wants to be able to influence their students to become productive members of society. A good teacher will put themselves in the position of a guide rather than being a leader. Open communication and a willingness to be flexible. Eighth, model the behaviors you want to see in your students. Modeling is one of the most important ways to teach the behaviors we want to see. A teacher should be a role model. Teachers should use their own behavior to guide children. Children watch teachers to get clues on how to behave, and what teachers do is often much more important than what teachers say. For instance, if you want your child to say please, say it yourself. If you don't want your child to raise their voice, speak quietly and gently yourself. Ninth, allow all students to work on the same assignments. Assignments provide sufficient flexibility and learning pace of the students. In one classroom, teachers should give the same assignment for students. Making assignments, students have to learn several new things and require to keep all of them safe in mind. It will benefit a lot. It will engage their mind in working and studying, and they will focus more. Last, create resources for all students, not just those with disabilities. All children need love, encouragement, and support. And for kids with learning disabilities, such positive reinforcement can help ensure that they emerge with a strong sense of self worth, confidence, and the determination to keep going even when things are tough.